Hello, everyone. This is BK, the crypto trader, and like to welcome you back. I'd like to think this is the best crypto show on the internet, which makes you some of the best subscribers on the internet. That's pretty cool. Let's get started. First of all, I just wanted to give a shout out, to the community out there. We are officially 198 subscribers strong. This is pretty cool, being that we've only been a channel for about 2 or 3 days now. So 200 subscribers in the first couple days. That's just awesome. I go through the comments, every couple minutes, and I'm, answering questions, talking with people from all over the world, South Africa, USA, London, Brazil, and these are literally, a few of the comments I responded to in the past hour. So, thank you guys. I think it's really amazing. And this really shows, the beauty of Bitcoin and at the end of the day, what it actually does. I don't want to get off topic here, but one of the comments somebody asked was, does Bitcoin have any value? And, I tried to, be nice, because I guess they were comparing it to a government dollar, right? Which is based on debt and technically doesn't even exist if debt doesn't exist in the first place. And so I think, the beauty of what we're doing here together in this community is, we're showing the value of Bitcoin. And that's what I said in the comment. I was like, Bitcoin gives power back to the people all over the world, anywhere in the world, anytime, day or night. You don't need to wait 9 to 5 to go, to the bank. I don't know how old you guys are, but back in the day, when our parents, 30 and plus, my 80s babies out there, 30 and plus, 30 and over, when our parents got paid on every other Friday, we would go to the bank, and I remember my dad, he would be in this long line at the bank every Friday, just waiting in line to cash his check. And everybody else in line was doing the exact same thing. And then the bank closed at 4:30 on Friday, and half the people still didn't get their money. Bitcoin, there is no hours. It's open all the time. I look at this trading view chart. I think it's funny because in the upper right hand corner, they say markets open, but the markets are always open. It's Bitcoin. It's the internet. When does it sleep? It never sleeps. So that's the beautiful thing. I think, the decentralization, and at the heart of it, all that means is we are not limited by the constraints that another group places on us, whether that be, the banking manager says, we close at 4:30. I'm sorry, you can't come in. You can't get your money for the weekend. You can't pay your bills that are past due. We can't, do this. Bitcoin doesn't do that. There are no rules. So the value that it actually has is in the sense of freedom that it gives its users. So long answer to a short question. Yes, Bitcoin does have value. And as you can see, society values it essentially at about $2,140 a Bitcoin. We did a few videos talking about the little spike up that it had. Some call it a bubble. I don't really like that term. I don't think it was a bubble. A bubble is catastrophic. For example, in 2008, that was a bubble. People lost their jobs. Nobody really lost their job between last night and this morning from this Bitcoin price retractment. So, it wasn't really a bubble. It was just a little blip in the system. What are we talking about today? Well, one of the comments we had, I want to call you out in particular because I thought one of the things I try to do is get people involved and one of the comments that we asked was specifically with regards to this trading. And I forget the girl's name, but I'll find it here in a minute. She asked specifically if we could go over the charting, how that works, and more so if we could do it slow. You know, it was a few different examples we had given, but I think one of the things that kind of got lost in translation was how this thing actually works. And can we do it a little bit slower? So if you notice already, I'm talking a little bit slower for you guys. This will be probably a lot longer video. We're live on the air Saturday night, you know, maybe Sunday morning, depending on where you are in the world. So good night and good morning from your boy BK. You know, and I think it'll be cool. So like I said, I want to make this a really a global community, engaging everybody at all times, all hours of the day and night. And so let's get started here. One of the charts I picked out to go over with you guys is Ethereum. Powerful cryptocurrency right here. It has a little bit of a history to it. I'll do another video that talks about, you know, the difference, the technological difference in the blockchain for Ethereum versus Ethereum Classic. For you guys that don't know, Ethereum is ETH. And one of the things I should do with you guys, I want to show you, and honestly, you guys can do the same thing. So, you know, one of the big things, one of the big things people do now, I don't know if you heard about it, it's called a Google. So we can type in here cryptocurrency market cap. This is huge. What this does right here is it shows us how much money is inside the market. Remember what I was saying? It's like a heartbeat. It's a living, breathing organism that basically moves money between the cryptos, between Bitcoin, in and out, up and down. And what this website does, I can put a link in the description as well. Let me make a note to do that. What this website does is it tracks every cryptocurrency in existence for the most part, all the big ones, all the ones that matter. And you can see there are a lot of them. Don't worry, we won't be talking about every single one right now. But one of the things I did want to talk about was the number 2, Ethereum, right? $15 billion market cap, $164 per coin. This is a technology-based coin. There are many new products coming out that will be using Ethereum. So the difference, some people might ask, what's the difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin? It's really an easy way I could think about comparing it as, you know, the difference in car, right? Somebody might ask, well, what's the difference between a Prius and a Tesla? They're both cars. They're both electric. They both run on 4 wheels and drive you down the street, right? A Prius is, first of all, it's an earlier model. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that the Tesla has. It's not as common, right? It's more specialized for an individual customer. And that's what Ethereum is. Ethereum has a lot of unique capabilities that other companies have taken and built really cool products around. And that's one of the reasons this price has spiked recently. So, you know, that's the big thing there. So Ethereum, and then you notice number 5, Ethereum Classic. The story here is back in the day, it was all just Ethereum. But it was a new coin that was, again, based off Ethereum that launched, and the coin fundraising was hacked. I think it was called Dow Coin. It was about $5 million that was stolen. And it was a big thing. It was a huge, huge debate. Some people thought that because the coins were stolen, you know, they should be returned. This person, you know, should have their money returned. It's not fair that, you know, $5 million just disappeared. We know how the blockchain works. We can see that money. It's just sitting right there in this wallet. Go get it. You know, and other people were like, no, don't go get it. That defeats the whole purpose of the blockchain, of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is supposed to be decentralized. We should not have the authority to go into this private wallet and pull this money back, regardless of how it got there. That kind of, you know, is a self-defeating purpose, right? And so that's where they both came from. They ended up going and getting the money, returned a lot of it, not all of it, a lot of it. So the part of the blockchain that was untouched as a result stayed, and that was called Ethereum Classic. It's a lot smaller part. It's like the original sequence, whereas all of the transactions that happened after that fork, they'll call it, I think it was a hard fork, that remained Ethereum. If you know any more information, please comment. You know, I'm always willing to learn. If you know, send me a link, just so maybe the next time we talk about this, I'll have a little bit more information. But I think that's a general understanding of how, you know, those two things came to be. Long story short, Ethereum is very, very expensive, $196. I'm sorry, that's relative. Ethereum is more well known, I'll say, has a much higher market cap, $15 billion, whereas Ethereum Classic, not as high, $1.5 billion, right? But then if you do the math right here, you can kind of see if you divide that by 10, that gives you a price of $16.4 a share, whereas we're at 17.13. So that's an interesting correlation. I never looked at that before, that Ethereum Classic might actually be more expensive per share than regular Ethereum. Whereas before, you know, Ethereum was always big dog, and Ethereum Classic was just kind of hanging by the wayside. But Ethereum Classic is making a run right now, and that's exactly why we're here. So getting back to our comment from one of our members in the community, it was asked if we could go in and look at one of these charts and sketch it out, draw it out from the ground floor, just so we could see it again, so we could have a fresh view and really understand how these things come together. So if you look here, we got a blank canvas, and this again is for Jada Johnson. I said anything for you. I don't know if you're watching this right now, but when you do, just know that this moment in time is dedicated to you. All right, so Ethereum Classic. This chart right here is Ethereum Classic, and that's what we will be working with. So let's get started here. All right, if you know anything about me, you know I like to know where I'm going before I get there. So how do we do that? First thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look back in time. I could do this with the 4 hour if I look in time, and actually, you know, one of the easy ways to do this. Again, this is tradingview.com. We are looking at Ethereum Classic on the daily chart. I will have a link for TradingView. Actually, it's already in there in the description. So if you click that link in the description, that will jump you over to TradingView. You type in ETC, and that will bring you this exact chart right here. It won't look the exact same. Mine is, you know, a little bit jazzed up with the black color, you know, black on black. And yours might look a little different, but the numbers will be the same, the data will be the same, the candles will be the same. So what I like to do is take a look back at first, and what we can see here is that over time, this thing has really gone up pretty quick here, right? And so much as before March 11th, nothing really was happening, right? And this is what I say when Ethereum Classic really just started to get some serious momentum and some recognition, because Ethereum was making a lot of money during this time. This whole time, Ethereum was making money, and Ethereum Classic actually lost a lot of money during that time compared to Bitcoin, right? So now here it is, March 15th. Guess what? Boom, we start moving. So this is what the area I want to look at, because we start March 15th. Today is about 2 months later. We don't need that daily chart. When we actually zoom in, you know, I don't really have enough information there. I like a lot more. I need a lot more data points. You see, like when this thing kind of breaks in there, even if I zoom in on it, I can't really see how these different bars are interacting with each other. So it's still really, really blocky. What I'm saying is when you zoom in on a daily and you get inside of, you know, say 3 months, you know, that doesn't really give you all the information you need. So you need to bump it down. One of the next charts I like to go to is the 4-hour chart. And what this will do, this will take that exact same information and break it down into 4-hour increments. So now you see, I can zoom in a lot closer, get more detailed information, and get more accurate with the trend lines that I'll be drawing. And so that's the biggest thing. Everybody asks, where do these orange lines come from? They are trend lines. And what is a trend? A trend is a relationship. That's it, right? It's a general agreement for a relationship. If I say it's a trend that, you know, young people are getting married later in life, that might be true. You know, I probably have data to show there's a general agreement. So that's all it is. So what do we want to do? How do we want to make this trend line come together, right? One of the things we do right off the bat is we look for our highs. And when I say the highs, what I'm talking about is the tip tops of the charts. I heard a little beep there. I don't know if that was a message or what. Honestly, I'm not sure. But we look for this is why we do it live, guys. So, you know, if you got any questions, I'm on my you know, little device here. Let me just take a break for a second. We got trend lines. We're about to draw them to show you the channels. We do have some people that's live on the air with us right now, so that's pretty cool. If anybody has any questions or comments, you know, feel free to throw them in the chat room, you know, and in that way we can, you know, all just, you know, kind of have like a little consensus, kumbaya, and come together on this deal. So if you're good, I see we got a couple people that's live on the air. I don't think anybody's in the chat right now, but hey, if you got a question, throw it in there. I'll see it pop up, and we can get it going. Okay, so getting back to what I was talking about. Sorry about that. Biggest thing here, trend line. How do we draw it? And this is how you get it. So a lot of people were asking, how do I get the trend line? This is how you do it. So you take the mouse on the left-hand side. You're going to, left-hand side, the second one down for me, click on that little arrow. It'll pop out all these different tools, right? I don't necessarily use all these tools. The one that I do have stars by them, so I use trend line, sometimes the angle, horizontal line, and parallel channel. That's about it. You know, I think sometimes the more complicated you get, you'll see like a lot of this stuff, the more complicated, and it does some weird stuff too. Like I don't even know what is that, like a lifesaver? I don't even know. They're looking for, you know, Star Trek somewhere. You know, talking about the forces with you, just beam me up, Scotty. I have no idea how half of this stuff works, and I don't even think the people that claim to use it know how it works. I think they just need something to make their charts look cool. I don't need that. I just need simple geometry and a basic understanding of math. I think most of us got that in the 10th grade. So we click this one right here, trend line, and we look for the breakouts. And what's a breakout? A breakout is an area that kind of stands alone as, you know, something that broke out of the regular chart. That's normally a pivotal area. So for this example, we'll use that area, and then we want to go back in time. So one of the things I like to do, and just to keep it consistent, we'll make sure our trend line is orange, you know, a light colored orange, you know, so that's what people are accustomed to. So that's what we'll keep it. So we drop in our trend line top to top, and that's all we do, right? Because now you can see that over time, you know, that was our line. Everything for the most part pretty much fell, you know, between here and here. Everything fell below that line, right? And then we can even tighten that up just a little bit. Sometimes it's good to have, you know, because now we got like 3 or 4 different bars hitting it right there. And because I went a little bit lower, I went on this green line right here. This is called the moving average. This is actually a 3-day moving average. I'll do a video on moving averages, but that's why I went lower than those actual candles, is because the moving average, it basically tightens that trend line to the data. I want this line to be as tight as possible. I don't want it thrown off just, you know, because that could be a misrepresentation. So we go top to top, right? And all we do is copy and paste. Copy it, paste it. And when we have 2 identical lines, they form a parallel channel. And when you have a good teacher, you can form a good line. And that's all we did right there. You see how those bars ride that channel? They ride that channel, ride that channel. Those dropped off a little bit, but that's, again, that's fine. That's okay. This thing doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to give you a general idea of where, you know, this area is. And even, you know, depending on how close you got, that might be another little line right there, but it's almost identical in slope. But it's close enough to where we can say that, you know, that's a good line of fit right there. And what we've done here in 2 lines, we have created our new channel that Ethereum Classic exists in. This is the high to low that it creates. And what I'll call this is this is going to be our runway, right? And I can show you guys another cool tool that might make this a little bit clearer for you guys. It's called parallel channel. Imagine that, right? So we're getting real complicated here, guys. Parallel channel. And what this does is this basically makes the exact same lines that we just did, right? So we go high to high. It's going to be purple this time. It's not going to be orange. It's going to be purple. So just be aware. High to high. And we bring it down to where we want it. And look at that. So now it's a little bit more clear as to what I mean when I say this is the life of Ethereum. Basically, this is where this coin exists within. This is like the heartbeat. Up, down, up, down. You know, it breaks out a little bit. You know what happens? It has to get right back in it. It almost had a heart attack right there. It's like, oh my God, you know, it caught itself. So up, and now that's where we're at. You see that? But guess what? It got too high, you know, and it wanted to come back. And then it was like, no, I think I like it up there. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But right now, I just wanted to, you know, get a little bit of clarity around how we create these channels and, you know, what they actually mean. And for now on, I was trying to think of some terminology just to try to have, you know, have some clear understanding with you guys. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this one right here, this little channel, the runway. Because if you think about an airplane takes off and it lands on a runway. And when Bitcoin takes off, it's going to take off from inside a runway, right? So that's what we're going to call these channels that we create, the highs and the lows, parallel channels. We're going to call them our runways. And so, you know, I see we got some new people watching right now. That's pretty cool. We're up to 7 people watching. The first 4 people hanging in there strong. I appreciate it. You know, if you guys are getting some good information here, I'm going to jump in on the YouTube page real quick. If you guys are getting some good information, please thumbs up this video. The more you thumbs it up, the more other people, you know, getting on YouTube will see it, you know, that are in our community. If you have anything, any question, anything at all, just jump into the chat and, you know, we can discuss whatever you guys have. So, you know, I'll be the first to throw mine out there. So yeah, if you got a question, jump in there. I'll click over every now and then. You know, we can discuss things together. That'd be pretty cool. All right. So back to the runway. So we got our runway, we got our highs, we got our lows. We know the life of Ethereum. What does this mean? This means that as we're inside this trade over time, like say, you know, we bought in, let's see, let's find the symbol for the buy symbol. Let's say we bought in right there. You know, everybody was talking about, oh my God, Ethereum Classic, it's making so much money. You should buy it. And so we did, right? And we bought in back in there, right? We're going to say, oh, well, you know, we've made some money here, right? Here it is 3-4 days later, this thing is still going up, right? 5 days later, 6 days later, oh, wait, it goes down a little bit. You know, what should we do? Should we sell it? Well, if we had this channel drawn, and it wouldn't have been this big at this time, it would have been a much smaller channel, but they do exist because there's a channel in there. You know, you can kind of see, like, if you still went high to high, you would know like what the range, expected range was, right? So actually, let's do that. So we'll delete that old channel. And let's say, you know, we went and bought this thing back in time, back here, right? Let's do that right there. So if that's when we bought it, what can we expect? How do we do it? Well, That's a really, really small window. I don't have a lot of data, but I bet I have some. What do I need to do? I should probably bump down to a much smaller time frame. So for this, I'm going to do a 45-minute interval and zoom out so we can see. Let's see, where did it go? I don't even remember what that day was. I'm looking for that little thumbs up hand. Sometimes it disappears. It was over here somewhere. It was like early too, right? Oh, it does make it disappear. Okay, what day is this? March 16th, 4 p.m. March 16th, 4 p.m. Okay, cool. So this is what the data looks like. These are the candles. We bought, hypothetically, March 16th. 4 p.m. There we go. Oh, that's only April. Wow. There we go. Okay, we found it. Good. All right, March 16th, 4 p.m. Sorry about that. Takes a while sometimes, but we got there. Okay, so if this is our data, what we want to decide is when do we buy or sell, right? This is where we got in. Thumbs up right there. And I like to do green thumbs up just so we know that was a good symbol. All right, so high to high, right? High to high. Create our channel. High to high is the first one. That's the easiest one. Create our trend line. That's one right there. That's another one right there. And automatically you see that when we go back, it hits that one. It hits that little guy right there. So that's all you do, high to high. Once we find a good line, and I like mine a little bit tighter. Once we find, once we find a good line like that, copy it and paste it. So we get the bottom. Data, telling you, about to be making so much money on the cryptos. Got your little Bitcoin Visa, about to be cleaning up. All right. So this is not a bad line. It's not a bad line. And I'll tell you why in a minute. It's not great. It'd be better if that bottom area right there came all the way down, but we get enough touches on there to where it still works. If we wanted, we could even push that up a little bit. And yeah, I like that better actually. And say that this was like an over correction, because now we get a lot more solid touches. You know, as long as your runway is parallel, it can be as big or as small as you want. But the more touches on the line you get, the better. And actually, I think this is probably going to be the best one that we can do. Probably like right in there. Actually, let's just keep it where it was for simplicity's sake. All right, cool. We keep it right there. So what do we do now? This is our runway. That's it, right? We buy right there. We know when it gets outside of this channel, it's going to have to make a decision. Either it's going to break through the roof and take off just like a F-15 jet, or, you know, it's going to come back into reality and keep it in the zone. You know what I'm saying? If you think about Hitch when he was dancing, you know, the one guy, he started doing all that crazy stuff and Will Smith smacked him. He said, hey, keep it in the box. Keep it in the box. So that's what the runway does. And look what happens. Just from those 2 data points. 1, 2. Look what happened. Copy and paste it down low. Look what happened. We made some money right there. We could have taken some money off the table right there. So now we made a profit. This thing settles back down in the zone. We buy back in down here. Look what happens. This thing is following it all the way up. And because it's going up, we're making money. We know we're going to make money as long as this thing stays in the zone, right? It goes up a little bit, comes back down, goes up, and now that's a double top. So that might be significant, but it comes back down, you know. Now here, this is where we get nervous. But we've made so much money on this thing, we could sell it and say we've made a killing on Ethereum Classic. We bought in, let's see, where's our thumbs down at? This is when we sell, right there. And I like to do red for sell. So we sell at whenever it breaks, significantly breaks. So let's say right there, we sell at 0, what's this bottom? 0.0 or 2131. I just use whatever the first 4 numbers are. 2131, right? That's what we sell at. But when we bought, what did we buy at? We bought here, which is right about, let's see, right about 1437. We got any math majors out there? 2114, 700 on 14. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like a 50% gain. How long did that take us? Let's see. March 16th to March 27th. 50% in 2 weeks, 10 days, 10 days. That's how you beat the market. That's how you make some money. It's really simple. It's a lot more advanced tools that, you know, I have to help that process. You know, one of the reasons I was able to outpace Bitcoin's growth 1,000% is because I live in these charts. I know what's going to happen on these charts before it happens. And this is how. Simple geometry and a basic understanding of math. As long as that line, as long as your runway is going uphill, you're doing pretty good. That's it. That's all you got to do. 50%, guys, in 14 days. You got people that have had a 401k for 10 or 20 years that haven't gotten that much. This is the beauty of cryptocurrency. This is the value of Bitcoin. There is so much movement inside this market that even if you only catch a fraction, just for a small amount of time, you can make an exorbitant amount of money. That's a GRE word right there. Exorbitant amount of money. And that's what I've been able to help people do. That's what I want to help you do. You know, and that's what we'll be able to do together. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And that's why I took this chart, because Ethereum Classic, you know what's funny though? Watch this. Watch this. I just saw this. I'm not even gonna look at what happened down here, but I'm just gonna take the channel that we made way back here, March 16th, from 2 dates. Oh, look what happens when I copy and paste it, you know, and just bring it back over here to, what is this, April 20th? Look at that. It's almost following the exact same line. You know, no matter where you put this thing, something's gonna happen on that line. Look at this. Look at this. I didn't even, I'm just moving this thing, you know, randomly right now. But look, you know, just on this point right here, it gave us, the chart gave us this. I didn't do this. The chart gave us this. It gave us a buy signal, right? So again, that's normally a reversal. Buy means green. But if we just take the same slope, whenever we get into the market, if we take the same slope, look at how significant that line is, right? It struggled right there. That was an inflection point. It had to decide, was it going to go up or was it going to pull back, right? It broke right there. That was a decision point. But do you see the angle that this stuff happens with? This is not a coincidence. This is not an accident. This is the actual interior mathematics of these charts, right? And it agrees with its own history. That's the only thing we're saying, you know. Now, granted, this probably is not the best line for, you know, this segment of time. You know, we could find a much better relationship, but you can see that over time, the better you get at making these lines and figuring out where a stock is within itself, the more money you're going to be able to make. And that's pretty cool. That's really amazing. So that's where I'm at on a lot of different charts. I remember I had this one Bitcoin chart and I had that thing stripped up like, you know, some sliced salami, you know what I'm saying, on a sandwich somewhere. So, you know, the more you look at these charts, you can understand what's actually happening. You can better understand the different levels that's already built into it. See, like that line right there, it just came back as like a major support line. That's crazy. Like we didn't even plan that. I couldn't write that better if I wanted to, you know. And this is now, what's that? 3 months later. So I think it's safe to say that we found a pretty good line from those 2 data points. So, you know, thank you Jada for allowing us the opportunity to do that together. What did I want to get to on this coin? As you can see, Ethereum Classic. Hi Brandon, doing same analysis. Hold on, I'm looking at a question from the chat. We got my man Carlos. Carlos, where you from, man? You got a shout out to City Country. You know, when you're in the chat, that way we can let people know. Carlos Pabon. Hi, Brandon. Are you doing the same analysis for Bitcoin? Same graphics. I have not done that yet. Bitcoin is very complicated, and right now it's a lot of transition. So the lines aren't as clear right now. Right now is a shifting point. I call those pivot points. So when you get to a pivot point, you know, if you don't have a strong foundation of lines, then it's pretty hard to draw lines within the destruction. You gotta think about, like, you know, it's almost like a building is collapsing within itself, but then another building is being built right up through the middle, you know, and you're the engineer looking at it from the outside, like, you know, what's going on? How is this happening? Is it falling apart or is it, you know, going higher? Who knows? I get the feeling it's going to go a lot higher, but, you know, to really have this kind of understanding of you know, how these lines work together, you kind of have to already have that. And I haven't done it with Bitcoin. A major reason I haven't done it with Bitcoin yet is because these other cryptos move a lot faster. And as you can see, you know, if you catch the right one, you can make just on that one trade, we did right there with Ethereum. We made 50% in 2 weeks. Bitcoin is not gaining 50% in 2 weeks anymore. So, you know, I play for the money team. So if it's money on Ethereum, if it's money on Dash, if it's money on Kcash, Litecoin, you know, I've made money on all of them. I've made money on Bitcoin too. So Bitcoin is just really, really complicated right now, and I haven't done it. But the minute it calms down and these, you know, these lines come back, I'll definitely do one for Bitcoin so you guys can see. And also with Bitcoin, it's interesting you say that. With Bitcoin, let's see, Bitcoin and ETH. Bitcoin has been going on for a long time. So the lines in Bitcoin run, some of them run all the way back to like 2014, 2015. I know when I started looking at these charts, one of the strongest lines comes from, you know, what is this, right around $200 when it broke out of the bottom. It formed a cup and handle. That's a candlestick pattern. And it broke out of that. And that was around $200. And that was when one of the first lines started. That was still relevant all the way through this last break, I think at 1280, something like that. So, you know, they're significant, but I haven't done it with Bitcoin mainly because it's very convoluted right now, and kind of catastrophic. You know, when it's deciding if it wants to go up to 3,000 or does it want to go back down to 1,300? Who knows? So to answer your question, yes and no together. That was a joke. So yeah, Bitcoin and Ethereum seem to be very closely tied together. Yes and no. You got to remember, they're two different products. They have two different investors. That's another thing. Right now, Bitcoin, a lot of these crypto coins are investment vehicles and not necessarily currencies yet. But the minute they are, the market, these charts will be completely different. There'll be a lot more stable, a lot less volatility, a lot more predictable, kind of like bonds and, you know, currencies are today. But right now it's more investment vehicles. So when people get scared, all the money pulls out. When people are happy, all the money flows in. So they are similar in the sense that they both go up and they both kind of go down together. I think when people think of Bitcoin, automatically Ethereum is number two. So, you know, I kind of think of Bitcoin as the gateway. That's how I see it. Bitcoin is the gateway to all these other tokens, right? Because if somebody never puts $1 in Bitcoin, will they ever put any money in these other guys? I don't know. I don't think they will. I know with me, when I got in, I bought Bitcoin, right? And when I made money with Bitcoin, I was like, wow, this is pretty great. Let me put some more money in Bitcoin. So I put some more money in Bitcoin, and then Coinbase launched Ethereum, and I was looking at it, and it was like $12 at first, and then it went down to $10. I bought a little bit at like $9, $10, not that much. Then it went down to $6. And I was like, Ethereum sucks. I'm gonna just keep my money in Bitcoin. You know, I lost half my money. It went from 9 to 6. I lost half my money. And then it went up to like 30. And I'm like, oh, wow. Now it's too expensive. I can never buy Ethereum. I'll wait till it gets back down to you know, $12, $18. You know, and then it jumped up to 50, and I'm like, maybe I should buy some Ethereum. So I bought some, you know, and then it jumped up to like 130, 113, somewhere in there, and I got out. But making money in Ethereum actually brought me to more altcoins, because then I was like, wow, I made, you know, 2 or 3 Bitcoin, you know, just in Ethereum, just when Ethereum went up. Because that's the other thing, you got to think about it too. It's a constant relationship between the altcoin, whichever one it is, and Bitcoin. So as long as, and that's what I keep telling you, is as long as our runway is going uphill, that means we are gaining ground on Bitcoin, which means it's more profitable for us to have that coin than it is to have Bitcoin itself. And that's all I care about. I want more Bitcoin. You know, I don't care about the US dollar. When it comes to cryptocurrencies, the US dollar does not matter. In my mind, Bitcoin is already 10,000, 100,000, a million a coin. So all I want to do is get more Bitcoin with every trade. That's it. That's it. And what altcoin do I think will take off next? Let's see. Let's see. I'm in a few of them. Let me jump on. This. I think Dash is past due. Dash is a strong coin. I know it's people out there that are probably way more familiar with you know, the technicals than I am. I think it's coming on a window right here. This is called a wedge. When I don't know if you guys probably can't see it, but let's do Dash real quick. I'll do Dash and then we can jump off of here. I'll let you guys get on about your day. So yeah, you see I look at Dash too. Yeah. So let's do a 4 hour. Oh boy. Let's go to a different version. That's messy. All right. So we'll look at Dash. I bought Dash when it was way back here, back in the day, back around March. It was like $16. It was pretty awesome. Ran up to about $100. Now it's back down, and I actually called 0.51, 0.53 back here when I was like, Dash is running out of steam. You know, it's gonna fall, and when it falls, it's gonna have two areas to catch it, around 79 and around 51. Sure enough, right? What's that right there? 79. You see how that line right there, we could do a horizontal line right at 79. But you see how that point was significant. It had to like decide, and it bounced for a little bit. I remember I bought some like right there. I'm like, oh my God, it's taking off. And then, no. So 79 and 51. 51 is exactly where we're at now. Roughly. I mean, this was looking at, you know, a rough chart a while ago, but how did I know that? I knew that because right here, that was the high way back before anybody ever cared about Dash. This number was very important. History always repeats itself, and the world is never as complicated as they try to tell you it is. It's very, very simple. This point right here came back many times, right there, and guess what? Now we're right back at it. Literally, right, you know, we're right back where we were 4 months ago. So I say all that to say this: Dash is past due for another spike, and it will be big because it's gained about 2.5 months of experience. It's gained about 2.5 months of confidence, and a lot of people are ready to dump money into it because they saw 3 months ago what it did when it went from, you know, a couple dollars to 1,000 times over, 1,000 times earnings. That's pretty impressive. So the next one will probably be, you know, up here somewhere. Once it starts to break, then I'll go in and do a chart projection and show you the new lifespan, the new runway. But yeah, so there you go. That being said, I can go on and jump off of here if nobody else has any questions. It's 11 people on right now. If you can, just shout out your country. Let me know where you in, where you you know, I don't want to say dialing in, but you know, where you located, what part of the world you guys are on. I think that's really cool that we got people from all over the world coming together, just hanging out and talking about crypto coins. I wish I had more cool charts to show you. I don't think I really do. It's always something to talk about though. I have a list of different things I'm going to talk about with you guys. So it's really cool. I just wanted to get on a little bit this evening and kind of freestyle and take you guys through a couple charts, show you how to build simple channels. I call them runways, how to build your runway so you can find out when the plane's taking off, you know, when you need to make sure you have your ticket. Okay, here we go. We got some conversation. Natalie from Kentucky. Okay, what part of Kentucky? No problem. Thank you for coming. I actually had a roommate from Louisville. That's how he said Louisville, from Louisville. So yeah, I'm actually from the Midwest myself. So you know, it's always good to, you know, see some people down that way. Like pennies to $100. Los Angeles, Amsterdam. All right. Amsterdam, that's pretty cool. LA, Paducah. I don't even know what that is. New Jersey, good deal, man. My one of my good friends from Jersey as well. So I've been to Newark. I think it's an airport up there. So yeah, as you can see, we got a global community. That's really cool, from LA to Kentucky all the way out to Amsterdam, just in a few people. That's the power of Bitcoin. You know, make sure you guys subscribe, get the notifications on your phone. I do these little chats every day, sometimes twice a day. Today it was 3 times a day. Tomorrow it probably won't be like that. I'll just let you know right now. So every day it's something to be learned. It's some knowledge to be shared, and I'm happy I'm able to do it with you guys. If you really if you do enjoy these videos, like it, comment, text it to a friend. You know, I know everybody knows somebody that they're trying to tell about Bitcoin, so just text them a video, say, hey, I found this guy, he makes this stuff so easy. Look at this, check it out. All it is a straight line. We just draw a straight line and we know how to make money. It's literally that simple. I'm going to put together a lot more content for you guys. I'm going to build a website for you guys. We're going to get this thing into a legitimate global operation, and I'm excited. You guys are the first one. So again, thank you. I think we got about over 200 subscribers in 3 days. 200 subscribers in 3 days. You guys are awesome. So we gonna do it. We go shock the world. You know, they're gonna be wondering what happened, and we'll be sitting there talking about it. And then I'm gonna have to come out to Amsterdam to party with my people out there. So that'd be pretty cool. Quick question, last question. Brandon, do you think we've already hit the Bitcoin bottom? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Real quick, we can pull up Bitcoin's chart and maybe over Mid-Ohio, no way. Columbus, let's see, Kettering, Dayton, good people out there, good people in Ohio. Go Cavs, LeBron James. Bitcoin to the dollar. Next. All right. So I think maybe this guy, Awesome B, do I think we've hit the bottom? I don't make predictions. First of all, I don't like to make predictions, because then you can be wrong, and people like to point their finger and laugh at you when you're wrong. I just like to read the charts. So what this chart is showing me right away is we did have a major correction right here. You see that? that is a major 20 to 30% correction, if not even more. I haven't done the math. When you have something like that, it's like an earthquake. It's like a quick tremor. Boom. What happens after an earthquake? There's normally an aftershock. So normally you probably have to settle out a little bit more. And just looking at where these different lines fall in at over time, I would say, let's see, I'll do this right here. I would say that line's significant, you know, between there and there. You see how am I doing that right here? You see how over time Bitcoin had to decide, do I go up here? What do I do? 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 So if we are going to have an aftershock, then we're probably going to drop down to around that line. And again, that's 17. Well, before it was like 1780. So I know from the past that that was a very important number. So I would say we're not done going down just based off the magnitude of that first correction right here that we had a couple days ago. We're not done going down. I think it still has to flush out, you know, flush out a few of the cobwebs. And also you got to think about it too. It's a holiday weekend. A lot of people, you guys are the rock stars. You're like, you know, on YouTube on Saturday night. So that's kind of cool. But a lot of people are with their families this weekend. They're not sitting in front of their computers throwing money back and forth on crypto. So, you know, it's kind of a lull, I think, until Tuesday, Wednesday, when we really see what's going to happen. So probably over the next day or two, what is this? Yeah. Over the next day or two, we might drop there. We might not, you know, but I don't expect us. If we were going to drop more, we would have done it. And if we do it, it'll happen on Tuesday or Wednesday. If it doesn't happen by the end of Wednesday, we should be ready to take off again. I hope that answers all you guys' questions. Thank you again. It's been pretty cool. I think we had like 15 people at one point. This is the first, you know, kind of kickback. I call this a Bitcoin kickback. That's pretty cool. Where we just hang out, talk cryptocurrency, you know, and figure out how we're gonna make some money in this market. This is your boy BK. Thank you for joining us. We do have a page on TradingView. I post all these different charts, all these different cryptos, you know, different coins that I'm looking at: Gnosis, Digibyte, Nautilus, Scicoin, Nimcoin, Golem, you know, all these different cryptos. A lot of you guys have never heard about, you know, I've traded, learned about, seen how they work. So like I said, it's going to be a lot of information coming together for you guys. Make sure you leave me comments, follow me, subscribe, get your notifications. We do a live chat every day. I try to make it engaging. Let me know what you want to hear about, and I will be sure to build it in just like we did tonight. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Be safe this weekend. God bless. Peace.